Okay, good Saturday morning, everyone. It's 8:10. This is not how I expected my Saturday morning to go. Wanted to hop on and do a little bit of live coverage with you this morning because we have storms rolling through, and we've had storms rolling through parts of the area for several hours now, leading to some flooding problems and way too much rain. And I'll be the first to admit, as I turn my volume down here so I don't hear myself. I'll be the first to admit, as I always am, when the forecast busts, I'm going to tell you, and this was a bust. I did not expect the thunderstorm activity that we had overnight and that we're having first thing this morning. The hot, humid day, it's still on. It's still going to happen. We're still going to get into the 90s this afternoon. Just because we have huge thunderstorms in parts of the area this morning does not mean that it's going to be a rainy day and it's not going to be hot like we said. It's still going to be hot. But the day starting like this, not exactly what I had expected. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8:30, so for another about 20 minutes or so for southern Mercer County, northern and central Lawrence County. What we're looking at here on the left-hand side of the radar image is, of course, the rain. The right-hand side, let me get my camera on here above my head. That is the wind, and that's the reason for the warning. There's some strong winds moving through New Wilmington right now. And these strong winds have moved through West Middlesex and the southwestern corner of Trumbull County. Also, earlier around the Hubbard area, we had a lot of wind. I live in Boardman. We're not under a warning here, but we have had some bursts of strong wind with our heavy thunderstorm over the last 5-10 minutes or so. This ball of wind, kind of in the bright greens and teals, will continue moving southeast through Mercer County, impacting the Newcastle area here very shortly. This is moving fairly rapidly, so it's in your backyard. It's not going to last forever, but it is moving at a decent enough clip that we should see things moving out of your locations fairly rapidly this morning. Weather Service just hoisted a new flash flood warning for parts of Mercer County. So we're going to see that appearing graphically here in a second. I do want to talk about what happened with the rain overnight. These are some radar estimated rainfall totals, and yikes. Up towards Kinsman into the far northeastern corner of Trumbull County, boy, you start seeing some purples on this, and it's possible someone saw 5-6 inches of rain here overnight. If there was some hail, that may have caused the radar to overestimate a bit, but I don't think there was much hail with this. I think this was largely really heavy rain, and so 5-6 inches of rain seems like a legit possibility up across northern Trumbull County earlier on last night and into the wee hours of this morning. That new flash flood warning is highlighted in the green polygon here. It includes Greenville and kind of the northern third of Trumbull County. Or Mercer County, I should say. That's including the Greenville area. And again, with more heavy rain falling and already at least a few inches worth of rain, definitely a legit flash flood warning up there. This is our severe thunderstorm warning down into southeastern Mercer County, into Lawrence County as well. And the reason for the warning, yeah, it's all about the wind. This is a doozy of a lightning storm as well. My power's been trying to flicker off and on here in Boardman, although the rain is starting to let up here in my part of Mahoning County. Just to my east, though, in Poland and Struthers, in Coatesville, in Louisville, it is raining hard, and there might even be some small hail mixed in with this. Let me stop my radar loop here. Above my head here, right along the state line, that's probably some small hail trying to fall along 422. Nothing that's going to cause damage or anything, but some conversational hail mixed in with the torrential sheets of rain that are falling. But mostly this is all about wind and rain and a heck of a lightning storm as well. Now, when I zoom out, you'll notice that once this line moves through, we're pretty much done. And so, as I mentioned a moment ago, yes, this was a bust. This was not something we hit on the forecast last night. In this kind of a this kind of an air mass in this kind of a setup, little tiny subtle boundaries such as the lake breeze off of Lake Erie can be enough sometimes to touch off some big thunderstorms. Not often well forecasted, and this was one of those cases. So I will admit this was a bad forecast last night for the overnight hours and for this morning. But again, as I mentioned a moment ago, in case you're just joining me, the hot, humid day, it's still on. It's still happening. Once this rolls through, I do think we are dry for the midday and afternoon, and temperatures will blast off up into the lower, if not middle 90s, with heat indices of 100 to 105. That forecast is still on. This wet and stormy start to the day does not mean that it's going to be like this all day. In fact, let's take a quick look at our modeling here. It's doing a pretty good job of cluing on to where the thunderstorms are this morning, and then yeah, it has a dry afternoon, and here's the temperatures. Yeah, we're going to get into the 90s. You know, the forecast I went out with last night had 94 for today. I still think that's fine. We'll be somewhere between 92 and 94, I think, with high humidity and heat index values getting up to about 100 to 105 before the afternoon is through. So we've just got to get through this rough start to the day. Again, severe thunderstorm warning is out until 8:30 for parts of Mercer County, including Hermitage, and then heading down towards the Lawrence County border. This includes New Castle and New Wilmington. A little bit of hail with this in the bluish colors above my head here along 422. It's small hail, but it's definitely some hail. The wind is the primary threat. There's the strongest winds bearing down on New Castle right now. That's kind of the dark greens and blues right here. That could be wind of 50 plus miles per hour cascading down through Lawrence County right now. So legit severe thunderstorm wind, and a good reason for the severe thunderstorm warning. Wouldn't be surprised actually if they had to issue a new warning polygon, kind of catching more of Lawrence County like this. This wind looks like it's going to clip some areas that are maybe just outside of the polygon over here, just west of New Castle. So that's our severe thunderstorm warning. Let's bring up the text of that warning real quickly. So severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30. The primary hazard, wind gusts to 70 miles per hour. And again, there may be some small hail. We've had some reports in the Austintown area this morning of some tree limbs down and some minor damage as well. Thankfully, Austintown's out of the woods at this point. All of our Ohio counties are out of the woods as far as severe weather goes. It's Mercer and Lawrence County right now that are bearing the brunt of the storms, especially when we talk about the wind. We're still getting some thunder and lightning in Mahoning and parts of Trumbull. But damaging wind is definitely a threat. Moving through Lawrence right now, the wind threat is just about over. As far as damaging winds go, it's just about over in Mercer County. But Lawrence County still definitely under the gun. I'm going to keep caffeinating here. I haven't been awake for very long. This was one way to wake up, that's for sure. Again, I will always be the first to admit when a forecast goes awry. This forecast went awry. If you watched me on 21 News at 11 last night or followed me on social media, I did not expect overnight thunderstorms to this extent, and thunderstorms even lingering into the start of our Saturday. This was a bust. It happens sometimes. We like to minimize those busts, and we like to think that they are pretty infrequent. But every now and then the atmosphere is going to win the battle, and this is one of those cases. So again, severe thunderstorm warning for another 10 minutes, parts of Lawrence County, with high winds cascading down through the county right now. That's what's above my head in kind of the dark greens and teal colors. Heavy rain and frequent lightning still occurring up towards Hermitage and right along the Mahoning-Lawrence County line. We've already seen tremendous amounts of rain overnight in the northern part of our viewing area. Across 87 in northern Trumbull County, heading right across towards the Greenville area, close to New Lebanon and in the northeastern corner of the county, and then especially up towards Kinsman and up towards the Ashtabula line. Some radar estimates here of 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. And so some flash flood warnings are out for up there. All right, Chris Serenelli is in the Weather Center this morning. Make sure you're keeping track of what he's following on social media. And I think he is either still on or just wrapped up a Facebook Live as well. So be sure you're following Chris Serenelli on social media. I'm going to wrap up this Facebook Live, but I will continue posting for a few more minutes as long as we have an active warning here on social. I'll be posting some information that way, but I'm going to wrap up the live stream for now. Rest of the day, once this moves through, again, hot and humid. Get ready for heat indices this afternoon around 100 to 105. All right, have a great Saturday.